What audio plugin has been discontinued that you want back? This one's a very simple one, and it's a plugin that you used to be able to get hold of, I mean, years and years and years ago. I'll quickly tell you what plugin it is, rather than keeping you in suspense. It's the IXL Spectrum Analyzer. I like a good analyzer. Thankfully, behind me there, I have the FabFilter Pro Q3, which has an amazing analyzer built into it, and that is a very good analyzer to use, just as a general analyzer. The IXL one. Now, the reason I say the IXL one is because you know, when you grow up with something, it was the tool, it was the analyzer that I used when I was 16. You know, fast forward 20 years, and I've used it for 18 years. It's only the last, no, actually, tell a lie, it's only the last maybe 3 months that I've not had it in, and that is because I had to switch reluctantly from Windows to Mac when setting up a Dolby Atmos studio. The reason I say reluctantly was because I am very much a firm believer that a beautiful, well-built custom tower in the PC world is far better than a Mac, even the new M1s. I like to be able to expand things, and I like to not be kind of constricted and controlled by a major tech company, so that I have to play ball with them, which is pretty much what you have to do when you switch to Mac. But that's another video. Now, the IXL, that doesn't work, or rather you can't get a copy of it on Mac. Hence why I haven't used it for the past 3 months since building this Dolby Atmos room, since moving to Macs. I'm now stuck with just the Pro Q3. I used to use Pro Q3 and the IXL analyzer. Now, the IXL analyzer is slightly different, looks slightly different. Hawkeye by SPL is similar, but it's not as good. And there's something about the IXL one that was so good, and it probably was the fact that I'd used it for probably 19 years on every single song that I'd ever worked on, and I was so used to it and I could read it so well that losing it was kind of like a big I really kind of, that is a plugin that I would really want back. Look, to be fair, the Pro Q3 behind me is better, but there was something about the IXL one that just gave us a different readout, a different kind of analysis of the frequency, and you could kind of read it a little bit different. And that is one plugin that I actually miss and I wish was still in development. And if there's any plugin developers out there that want to build a really good spectrum analyzer that people will want, it's a carbon copy of the IXL spectrum analyzer. People have tried to make one similar, and they've made them similar, but they're just not as good. They just don't work as well. And there was just something so simple about the IXL one that just worked, and it was so easy to read. And like I said before, it's probably because I've used it for 19-20 years and I know it inside out, and I just kind of losing it was a bit of a, I really wish I'd still had that. So yeah, the thing is, you can pick up, I think you can pick up a crack of it, and I don't feel like there's anything wrong with picking up a crack of it, because the thing is it's discontinued. It's no longer a product. There's nobody making money out of it. It's not even like it's been discontinued for best part of probably 10-15 years. but it's still so irrelevant, so relevant in today's mixing and mastering. I'm sure there's people out there that are still using it, and it's a really, really good analyzer. Yeah, and I can't get my hands on a compatible Mac version, and yeah, so that is one. If I feel like there was a guy that actually built or took it on and had the code, and it was renamed as an actual person's name. I can't remember for the life of me what that was, but there was yeah. If anybody can get a copy of it and kind of, I don't know, just remake it really well. I mean, I don't feel like there's nothing that's going on with it. It is a dead product, and the only reason I can't use it now is because it's not compatible with the with like Big Sur and whatever the newest one is, Mojave. It's not compatible. It's compatible with Windows, but again, as well as it's 32-bit. Like that's showing you how old it is. It's a 32-bit plugin, and the only way you can use it on Windows is you could have the legit copy. We've got a legit copy of it, but you have to. There's no 64-bit, so you have to use JBridge to bridge it into. And then actually you have to use So the process for it at the moment is you use JBridge to bridge it from 32-bit to 64-bit. Then once you've got it into 64-bit, to run it in Pro Tools, because Pro Tools now uses AAX, whereas the plugin, because it's so old, is RTAS or Windows 32-bit. You then have to use Blue Cat's Patchwork to then patch it from 32-bit Windows into an AAX plugin. It's once you've got it set up, it runs. I mean, it's perfectly fine. But it's, I mean, I'd love it if someone just made an AAX version that was just like current, update the graphics. But it's not even about the graphics or the UI or anything like it. It's just the readout. It's just how the analyzer actually works and how those bars react, and none that I know of, or none that I have used, react in any way, shape or form the same or similar way. The SPL Hawkeye doesn't react the same, and I'm not keen on the Hawkeye version, even in one third octave. It just doesn't do it for me. So yeah, there's nothing out there that compares to the IXL Spectrum Analyzer. So yeah, if anyone can build it, do, because slap whatever price tag you want on it, and I will buy a copy, because it's one plugin that I do miss.